Yesterday's This Week at Bungie revealed the champion mods we'll receive for Season 18, so in today's video I wanted to compile a small list of weapons for you all to have on standby for next season. For each champion mod, I'm going to be limiting the recommendations down to 3 per mod so that this video isn't an hour long. If you want to skip to a certain mod, the timestamps for them are in the description below, so feel free to skip to any section, I truly don't mind. With all that being said, let's get into it. Starting with anti-barrier mods, we're going to tackle anti-barrier scout rifles, and the first scout rifle I want to mention is the Tears of Contrition, which is the Season of the Haunted 180 RPM scout rifle. I've already talked about this weapon in our previous video, so I'll link in the description below, but the best perks to go for will be triple tap and explosive payload for GMs. The next weapon I wanted to talk about also resides in the primary slot, which is the Night Watch, as it's an amazing scout rifle that you should get if you don't already have a great scout rifle to begin with. I'd recommend doing the New Light quest as you'll get the curated roll on it, which has overflow and explosive payload, which is amazing for GMs. The final scout I wanted to cover is my personal favorite scout rifle in the game, Vouchsafe. This is my go-to scout rifle for GMs, and the perks I'd recommend you get are rapid hit and explosive payload. Overall, any of these scout rifles will give you the best performance in GMs. Moving on to auto rifles, we have the Gnawing Hunger. The Gnawing Hunger is a bit difficult to get in this current loot pool as it only drops from Xur and Tears of Eternity, but this auto will pair great with anti-barrier autos. I'd recommend going for Subsistence and Rampage, but if you have the curated roll of this auto rifle, then I'd recommend that even more. The next auto rifle I want to highlight is one that is leaving the Trials of Osiris loot pool next Tuesday, and that is the Summoner. The Summoner is a phenomenal auto rifle and it would be a shame to miss out on it. I'd highly recommend going for Overflow and Rampage to make this thing a monster. The final auto rifle I want to cover is the Sweet Sorrow, which is my personal favorite auto rifle in the game right now, as this thing is a beast and can roll with some great perks. Regarding the perks, I'd recommend going for Stats for All and One for All for an absolute monster for ad clear. Moving on to anti-barrier snipers, we have the Succession to start us off with. You can get the Succession from the Deepstone Crypt raid, and I'd highly recommend you do so as this will be a great sniper to have. If you go for it, aim to get Reconstruction and Vorpal weapon on it. The next sniper I want to mention is the Izanagi's Burden, which is going to become a meta pick for this GM this season. If you don't already have this sniper, then what is wrong with you? Go grab it now. The final sniper I will mention might seem like a troll pick, but it actually has great potential, and that is the Borealis. Yeah, you remember this thing? Well, the Hardlight, if it were a sniper, might be amazing next season. In all seriousness, this thing has great potential since it's a 72 RPM sniper rifle that can swap between all 3 elements with a simple reload. Plus, if you break a combatant's shield that matches the element that the sniper is, you get extra damage, which could be huge in GMs. Definitely worth trying out. Moving on from anti-barrier mods, we now have Unstoppable mods, and we're going to start with Unstoppable Pulse Rifle, which I'm glad to see returning. The first pulse I want to recommend is the Insidious, which drops from Valve the Disciple, and comes with great perks. For GMs, go for either Stats for All and One for All, or go for Rapid Hit and Vorpal weapon. The next pulse rifle I'm going to recommend is the Forge's Pledge pulse rifle from Iron Banner. I know there's another great pulse rifle looking at you, Ogma, but I prefer the Forge's Pledge as it's easier to target farm and has great perks. Speaking of great perks, I'd recommend going for the typical Stats for All and One for All combo. The final weapon I want to recommend is the Outbreak Perfected. Yep, all Outbreak Perfected cult members rise. But in all seriousness, this pulse rifle can be a great choice in GMs, especially with the catalyst allowing the nanites to do increased damage. Have this on standby for next season's GMs. Next up, let's talk about Unstoppable Shotguns. While Unstoppable Shotguns will be rather niche and pretty unpopular in most GMs, I could see this mod being great in certain GMs, like Lake of Shadows if we got it next season. Regarding shotguns that I'd recommend, I only have 2 I want to recommend right off the bat. The first is the First and Last Out shotgun. This slug shotgun can do lots of damage, especially if it has Vorpal on it, and since it's a slug shotgun, it will automatically do good amounts of damage. The last shotgun I want to recommend may seem like a troll pick, but it's the Legend of Acrius. The Legend of Acrius has always been a shotgun that will deliver massive amounts of damage in a single shot, and with the buff it's receiving next season, plus the shotgun mod being available, I can see how this thing will shred in GMs. Please get it if you haven't already. We're now moving on to the final anti-champion mod, and that is Overload, and the first Overload mod we will be mentioning is Overload Bow. The first bow we will mention is the FILO Taradiddle, which drops from the Wellspring activity on certain days. With a very slight buff lightweight bows are getting, this bow will continue to feel great, especially in GMs. For perks, I'd recommend Archer's Tempo and Explosive Head. For the second bow, I'd recommend getting is the Point of the Stag, which comes from the exotic kiosk in the tower. This bow is perfect for GMs as it has both Archer's Tempo and Vorpal weapon, which is insane, so definitely pick it up. The final bow I want to mention is the beloved bow Ticuu's Divination. This exotic bow can be acquired from the exotic kiosk and is a great option for GMs with the addition of Overload bows. The final anti-champion mod we will have to speak about is Overload Machine Gun, which I think might be a brand new anti-champion mod. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on that one. Anyways, we're going to start off with the Commemoration from Deepstone Crypt. The Commemoration is a fantastic LMG and will feel amazing in GM content, especially thanks to the Overload mod. The perks I'd recommend going for is Reconstruction and Rampage. The next LMG I want to mention is one I talked about in my Season of the Haunted crafting video, which is the Fixed Odds. This LMG comes with amazing perks for GM content such as Field Prep, Firing Line, and Incandescent. And it's also craftable, so it's most definitely worth grabbing. The final weapon I want to talk about on this list is the Corrective Measure, which is a classic machine gun in the Destiny universe. This beast drops from the Vault of Glass and comes with the insane combination of rewind rounds and high impact reserves for massive damage and a long time of holding the trigger down. Well, that wraps up this video. I know we went through a lot of weapons pretty quickly today, but that's because I wanted to make sure we cover the essential weapons fast. I know I probably missed a few, so feel free to comment them down below to let others know about some great options. If you found this video helpful, then consider dropping a like and subscribing for more Destiny content dropping every weekday. Finally, follow me on all of my social media platforms, including my Twitch channel where I'll be live every Tuesday through Friday at 2:30 PM Eastern Standard Time, and would love to see you guys over there. With that being said, I'm SniperKH, and I'm out. Good luck with gaming.